Well, good morning. We are about to have a little flight. An area that I've never been to is Lake Isabella in Kernville. I'll tell you a little more about that in a minute, but we're flying due south to Tehachapi. And Tehachapi is where Highway 58 goes across from Bakersfield over to the Mojave Desert. And we've got Edwards Air Force Base here, and if you're going to, say, Las Vegas, you'd cut across here rather than going on down to LA. You might cut across here if you're going to Phoenix, and that's to the east, as you can figure out. But here's Bakersfield. We're not going to go over there today. We're just going to come by Tehachapi. We'll just fly along the lake, and then come down here and end up at a little racetrack that I landed at. And they used the racetrack, a guy named, really a famous driver and engineer that worked with Carroll Shelby in the Shelby Fords, the Shelby sports car. And Shelby was a principal who helped Ford beat Ferrari. And in that movie, the last track, I think he was working out some bugs in the car. But Ken Miles died at the Willow Springs Racetrack. I've got other flights. I actually landed there in a Comanche back in the 60s for another friend of mine. So we'll be going down memory lane, and as soon as I kick off here, we'll kick to fly, and we'll end up on Mojave Airport. We're not going to fly in the Icon. Hopefully the Icon will be getting out of bankruptcy. Little airplane that was coming out of Fairfield.
Traffic Daughter 527 Bravo Charlie, taking off runway 17 departure to the south.
To the south, and we'll be on the north lake of Lake Isabella, and we'll maybe fly over Kernville. So this is what it looks like up here. It's about 3,000 feet, no, 2,600 feet off the ground. We've got one of my favorite airplanes, which is the TBM 930. So we'll get on the tail here for takeoff, and I think that's what we'll do. We'll just get on out of here. Take the brake off. So a guy named Red Emerson, who owned Sierra Pacific Industries, used to fly in and out of here, and they had a lumber mill down in this area in Inyokern. Get the gear up and the flaps up. Come back on the power, because here's the lake. And apparently the original town of Kernville was under the lake, so they had to move the town. Let's look back and see if we see the town. Maybe the little town's right over there, and we'll fly down the lake. Yeah, maybe that's the town right on there. There's the town. Again, I've never been in and out of here, and this is just a beautiful area. The southern end of the Sierras. It's like a subdivision going in over here, lake subdivision. And the dams, they've got two dams down here at the south end. And let's get back inside. Let's go in here and switch off that. So Lake Isabella. And we're heading for Tehachapi. Pretty good sized lake. Here's the dams down here. We can move the sun a little bit more to the east so we don't have the reflection. I mean west. Move it a little later in the afternoon. So there are the two dams, and heading south out of there. We'll head directly for. We'll just turn on the autopilot. It'll take us right down to. We'll go nav. And what's our altitude? 5,000 feet. So we'll take it up to 5,000. 5,000. And altitude. We're on altitude. So we'll just turn on the autopilot. There we go. That'll track our course. And there's a little snow. Here's a little snow up here. So these get up to 7,000 feet. We're 5,000. Are we gonna make it over? Maybe not. So we got to go to 6,000. So let's go to 6,000. It'll go up a little more than that. There we go. Okay, a little more power. See how we're doing here. Climbing. I think when we see over the other side like this, that means we're going to clear. Just barely. Okay.
500.
Not quite. That's what the pilot's for. Okay, now we'll put it back on. No, it's not quite ready. It wants to. We need 7,500. And we'll look down toward Bakersfield, down that direction. One last look back at Lake Isabella. Look at the mountains going by. Click on the autopilot. That'll take us back down to 6,000 feet, maybe. Let's see how we're doing here. So we got nav, the autopilot on. So that'll take us right down here to Tehachapi. Get back on course. And we can go down to 5,000 feet. Let's take it down to 5,000. 5,000 feet. Altitude, vertical speed. Down at about 1,400 feet a minute. That ought to work. And we can look around a little bit. Check out over toward Bakersfield, right over there. And my Red Emerson, I did get to meet Red Emerson. Actually, I sold his 411. I've told you that. And then he got himself into a twin turboprop called a MU2 Mitsubishi. It was a popular aircraft back in the 60s. It was a noisy thing, but it was fast and quite good. Emerson lived in Arcata, and he had a mill in Arcata. It was a Doug Fir mill. I'm not sure whether they got sugar pine down here, what the mill product was, but they also worked out of Susanville. They maybe had a mill up in Susanville. Let's look at what our distance is here. There, we're going to there. We got 12 miles to go. So let's drop down another 1,000 feet. 4,000 vertical speed. Yeah, it's going to be a little too. That's going to be a little too little. So we better level off at 5,000. Feet. Yeah, we're going to have to pop over, so we'll take off the autopilot, get on the tail. You can tell I haven't flown around in these parts in a while. You do any amount of flying, and you get to know the tops of these hills. Take it off the autopilot. Let me see if I'm off. There, the autopilot's off. We're flying right into Tehachapi. Then we'll make a slight left turn for Willow Springs. See if I'm any good at landing. And this is where Highway 58 comes out of Bakersfield and heads over toward I don't know whether it goes through Mojave. Probably does. Doesn't go to Lancaster, and it goes by the Air Force Base. So we'll look down at the little town of Tehachapi. They do some sky sailing up here. Okay, now what we're going to do is a slight left turn here. Maybe fly over 150. And I can't remember if I've landed at Tehachapi or not. I don't think so. And this is the Highway 58 going over. There's all the the windmills, electric generating windmills. And we'll look around real quick here. Back at Bakersfield. Bakersfield's right back in there. And then we go inside here, and we go down, and we'll get rid of this. And we go over here to nearest airport. Nearest airport. Let's see, nearest. Airport. And it's always landing through 33CA. We gonna come off on the power.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
33CA.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
I think I see where I'm going over here. Get on the tail.
Landing gear.
and Lloyd's Landing and LOO. So we'll figure this out here. Little action right down here in the windmills. Okay, back inside, and LOO, that's close enough. Direct. That's direct. Okay, there we go. Back on the tail. Right like that. And possibly just past. Let's see if we see Lloyd's Landing 33CA. So we want to go with 33CA. Don't see it. We're going to have to go with LOO. And possibly just after this little job right here. Let's get this slowed down. See how far we have to go here. Yeah, I think it's just on the far side of here, up this hill. I don't see it there. I don't see it there. Okay, there it is. 33CA is just off to our right. Yeah, I see it now. I see it now. It's right over here, Willow Springs. So we'll come on back on the power. Double check we got our autopilot off. Yep. And we'll put our gear down at full flaps. And Mojave could be behind us, right back up there. But this is the Willow Springs track. And I believe this is where Shelby did a lot of his, let's get on the back here. Testing. A lot of his testing was done here.
500.
And then we'll land right on the front straightaway. Doing good. There we go. Hey, we got houses here now. This is the pit area. See, that's what the computer does for you. So we'll just park down here at the end, remember. But this has been upgraded. We'll just park over in here. Right in here. There we go. We'll be able to see the races from here. Willow Springs. And I hear it's for sale. So if you're thinking about owning a racetrack, these little buildings aren't. This is where grandstands and pit area would be right along in here. Okay, that's your Kernville, Lake Isabella, Tehachapi, and here's Willow Springs Racetrack, the famous Willow Springs. And I got to land here in a Comanche one time. I think that Shelby had a pilot's license, so I believe he had a 182 that he flew in and out of here with. Okay, we'll shut her down. Thanks for riding along. Sorry about having to fish around to find it. That's why you need a co-pilot. If you don't have your course all figured out, you got to fly some instruments, or you got to do some funny business like this. That's what you have to do. Let's see if we hear some. Yeah, we'll look back over this way. That's not a race car. I don't hear any birds. Okay, thanks for riding along. And I've had grandkids here that I got to watch in the Olympics, so I wasn't doing much flying, as you can tell. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.